Welcome to Sounds of Sud. I'm your host, Jasmine. This podcast is for all the music lovers and anyone that wants to learn more about working in the music industry. Bringing you interesting insights and wild stories from DJs to festival organisers, we talk to all of the people behind the scenes that make the magic happen. So make sure to hit subscribe and I'll see you on the dance floor. Welcome, Jess, to Sounds of Sud, the podcast. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for coming over after a busy weekend away.
Yes.
Where did you go?
I just took a trip up the coast. I had a little bit of a drive. Just needed to get out of Sydney for a bit, so just went for like a bit of a hike and stuff in some.
Oh, a wholesome one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Many of you?
No, just me and a friend.
Oh, nice. Lovely. Well, thank you for coming over again. So I brought you over here because it's actually very exciting for me because I've had one friend of mine on who's English, but she's just a party goer. She's not like a professional, would you say? So it's very exciting to have another English woman on the podcast. So thank you. So you're a DJ and we were chatting before a bit outside. You do dabble in a bit of would you say promoting? Oh, event organising?
Yeah, like promoting event organising. I think it all kind of comes under the same
thing.
umbrella.
Yeah, cool. So you do a little bit of that, and then, but your main thing is that you are a DJ yourself. When did you start? You obviously, we can talk a bit about your story about coming over to Australia because you were very, very lucky. And we can talk about that in a sec. But yeah, really up to you, babe. Where to begin?
I guess it probably started like just during COVID. My ex-boyfriend actually told me, but we were exes at the time and we were friends, and he DJs. I think he now goes by like Maxi Boy or something. He was half of Glass and Height. They do like melodic techno. I kind of said to him that I was interested, and then he was like, hey, we'll just come over and I'll teach you. So I was like, sure. And I just used to spend like hours around his house with him, and he used to pretty much just make me stand there for about 4 hours, and I wasn't allowed to look at any screens, and he would just be like, listen and fix it, and used to just mash 2 random tracks together and just made me do that for hours, which really like kick-started everything. And then I was kind of just doing it at home for fun, and then I met one of my best friends now at a house party. My friend, a guy that I worked with, was basically like, I need you to meet this girl, like you're gonna love her, and I just feel like you two are really gonna get along. So we was at this house party, and it was the weirdest thing ever. I met her and I was like, oh my god, we both were like, we need to be friends. We don't know why. The universe has said that we need to be friends, which sounds so silly. I've never felt like that before, not even with a guy. I just met this girl and was like, that's it. Like, she's...
What's her name?
So her name's Ash. She's Canadian, Trinidad.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just amazing. Like, she DJ'd back in Canada, and then we actually started House of Lowkey as a duo. Well, started in the sense of she used to come around to my house and we used to make margaritas for about 8 hours and mix, and used to think that we were amazing because we were like about a whole bottle of tequila down at this point, and used to just hype each other up to the point where we were like, yeah, we can do this, like this is amazing, like we're sick, like
oh my god, that's so much fun.
Honestly, I wish I could be a fly on the wall, because like there's videos that people will just never see, because we used to film ourselves as well doing it, and we used to just have the best time ever. I felt like we used to have like sleepovers as well, you know, when you're like a teenager and you do all that together. And then Max helped me get my first gig with her, and it was in Flinders.
Yeah, nice.
And then, it all just kind of kicked off from there.
And why doesn't she part of the brand anymore?
She had to go back due to family issues.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was honestly, it was heartbreaking. And it was a really weird experience, because I almost felt like I had to restart the brand again, because people, like, we had gigs booked, which was fine, but people wanted both of us, so I almost had to then restructure the brand and relaunch it as just me.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like because we were 2 girls and there's not many 2-girl duos that people kind of favoured it.
Yeah, okay, it's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
When did she leave?
She left probably about 3 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
2 years ago.
I can empathise with friends leaving so much. Obviously, you know yourself, people come and go, and my best friend came for a year, and I knew it was only a year from the get-go, but when she left, oh my god, I felt like my heart had been torn out. I was devastated, so I totally Totally understand. It's very sad. I assume you still keep in contact.
Oh yeah. Like I think so we decided that we would break it up into 2 brands as well. So we always had House of Lowkey, and then we operated as Jess Lowkey and Ash Lowkey, just in case that we did ever kind of want to separate.
That was smart.
Do you think just because she was very hip hop based, which was fine. She'd come into house, and there was other, like, I obviously like all that kind of UKG and stuff as well. So we knew there were separate things, but we still worked together quite well. So I think she did try when she got to London, but she just said like,
oh, she's in London.
Yeah.
Oh.
So her boyfriend's English.
Okay.
So they moved back there.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah. Then I think she did try, but I think it's just building that whole thing back up again.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Like you were talking about before, even with this, like it's difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult, especially. But you got to just keep going and sit up. It's funny because God, I can't even remember who it is now. So many people. I think it might have been Tommy was saying, like, you know, for some people it's a phase, and then they have to make a decision if they really want to go for it or if it's just not worth it for them. And I guess it's interesting. But it's sad she left. And back to what you said about like the universe and stuff, I feel like that with every single one of my friends. I love them so fucking much, and you don't even need to explain yourself. Do you know what I mean? They just get it, and
like,
it's so.
And you don't even have to talk words. Like,
it's so fun, so fun, and so I totally get it. But that's really cute start to the story. So COVID was obviously 2019. How long have you been in Australia?
So I moved over here October 2016.
2016. Okay, so about a year and a half after me. Yeah, so cool. And then not so relevant to the music side of it, but it's interesting. So you actually came over here with your mum, your dad, and your sister.
Yeah.
So lucky. So lucky, very, very jealous. And just don't have to go into too much, but just explain the visa side of it.
Yeah, so we applied for a visa in 2009, and it took about 7 or 8 years to come through. And on that visa, we all automatically got PR.
How good!
So good,
so good. I love my life here, and you can never say for good, but for the time being we're definitely have no intentions of going anywhere. But it's hard being away from your family, so even to have a few of them here, that would be, I can't even imagine what it would be like to have my parents living over in DY.
Oh, it's so nice. We still do the Sunday roast dinners, that is just tradition.
That's
so nice.
Yeah, that's so cool. All right, so you've learned to DJ, you had a bit of a duo, and then did you have a break at all after your friend left, or did you just continue straight away?
I kind of just continued. I kept saying that I was going to take a break, but I just always kind of kept having these things fall on my lap that didn't make sense. I kept being like, oh, I'm going to take a break. And then I'd say no to a few things, and then I'd get one thing land on my lap, and I'd be like, okay, well, it's silly to not do this. And then...
Like what, for example?
It'd either be something... we got a gig from an influencer to be on her yacht and party for her birthday. It was Michelle Battersby, which I think she's now in the US, but she saw us playing at Tropicana, which doesn't even exist anymore, in Manly, and found our Instagram, and just funny little things like that just kept kind of happening. So
the universe again.
Yeah, I think I was like, no, I'm not going to do it now, and then something else would come, and so it just... As much as I kept trying to push it away, I was like, oh, well, I'll just embrace it now.
yeah, just go for it. If the universe is telling you something, I'm all for it. I'm not religious or anything like that, but that's one thing. I don't really know how to describe it. I just believe that everyone is supposed to be where they're supposed to be. Sometimes it's fucked up, sometimes it's positive. You just have to ride the waves and just see where it goes. But one thing I try and live by is it's always all right in the end. It might take months, it might take years, but you always generally overcome whatever you're going through, and keep going. And so at the moment you still have a 9 to 5, so I know myself, a 9 to 5 plus a extracurricular activity is quite draining. How do you manage it?
I probably don't. I think every time I'm always like, oh, I'm at breaking point, and then I'm like, oh no, it's okay, you can keep going, because again it almost just feels like things just keep happening and they seem too good to pass up. And I think it allows me to kind of have a really nice creative outlet. I feel like that's my time, and it's the time, it's almost especially when I play kind of like background gigs. I actually really like it. Like I know a lot of DJs like I'd never do that, but
what do you mean, like just background at an event or something?
Yeah, or like, so I play quite a lot of Wolf Bar, and I do still play the nights, but I generally like playing the daytime ones because I just get to kind of like stand there and look at the water and play like really nice disco tunes and just put my headphones in, and it's almost like meditation.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, this is like my time where no one's around me. This is my time. I can just be on my own for like 3 hours, which is so rare. Having a 9 to 5 and being in clubs all the time, just to have that bubble is just so nice.
So you've got a day job which has nothing to do with music, but then you also freelance,
yes,
as well, and do marketing for
iRock. So I do the Ivy Thursdays, all the marketing for Ivy Thursdays pretty much. All the social content, all the rogue stuff that you see
floating around.
Yeah, so I've got a little team of content creators now, which is so nice because when it first started it was just me, but it's grown so much that I now have a little team. I've got April, Zoe and Jared, and yeah, they're so good.
They obviously do it freelance as well.
Yeah, so April's with iRock like part-time, and then I've got Zoe and Jared that are freelance.
Yeah,
and I think just it's a win-win, right? Like I don't have to be at Ivy till 3 a.m. anymore and go into the office the next day, and they get to party backstage, and we obviously have like celebrities come and stuff like that, and they get to be in that environment, which as an 18-year-old is amazing, right? Yeah, like this is what I was trying to say to them. I was like, honestly, like when the good times come here, they come. Like we've been on tables with like Jason Derulo and like stuff like that, and you talk to people like Scooter Braun. To be an 18-year-old and have that opportunity is just insane.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah. You just got to put yourself in the situation, and who knows what's going to come for them as well.
100%.
They'll meet this person and talk to that person, and yeah. Sorry, back to what you said a second ago. You were staying at the Ivy till 3 o'clock in the morning, then getting up and going to work.
Yeah,
I could never.
I don't know how. And you know what? We were actually drinking at that point, so we would like finish at like 1, and then we'd probably drink for a couple of hours, but we'd just be about if they needed us, and then I'd go into work, and it was horrific. Like I think I did it a couple of times, and I was like, I could not handle this. Like I don't even drink anymore. I do like 3 months at a time sober and stuff.
Yeah,
because I just
the hangover, babe. No.
Horrific.
No. I think it's one thing, like, not that I can really remember too much. I've been here for 9 years soon myself. Back in England, if you're hungover and it's raining outside, it's like, yeah, what of it? But here, when you have all of this amazing stuff on your doorstep, when I spend a hungover day just moping around the house, I feel really guilty, and it makes me feel a bit ugh.
Yeah, you know? And like I think because here you're so like, I agree with that in the sense of like you're so active, like everything is like, you know, you go for walks. I go for walks out of enjoyment here. Like it's crazy. Like people get up and watch the sunrise here, and not because they've partied all night, because they generally want to get up and watch the sunrise. Like
the sunrise was amazing this morning.
Oh, see, I'm not there yet. I'm not at the early sunrise stage yet.
It's everyone else.
I'll go for walks. I like my walks, but yeah, like I think when my life got busier as well, and the DJing picked up more and everything picked up, I just was like, you can't be here till this late. Like you're not going to give 100%, and it doesn't benefit anyone in that instance.
Yeah, eventually you can do it and do it and do it until you can't do it anymore, and then you might end up missing something really good because you've pushed it too far or whatever. Yeah. So what would you say has been your best, or doesn't necessarily have to be biggest, but best gig or most exciting gig that you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I did that one?
And probably when I got asked to play above. Yeah. That was like a real... So when I first started DJing, I wrote myself like a list of goals. The first one was playing at Sash, which I did last year.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, I played it for the Canvas Boys, did like a takeover, and that was on my goal list. And then the next one after that was to play at the Ivy on the main stage. I had done it before, but for Courtyard, which is like a quarterly event. So then when I actually got to play for Above, which was like purely house, and it was like run by the One Hit guys and stuff like that, I was just like, it felt like I'd really got to a point where I'd achieved something.
Yeah, that's so cool. Really congratulations again.
Thank you. And then probably running the events. So it's picked back up again, but me and Ash used to run them together. And I remember when we ran our first one, we were literally like sat there around our house, we were drinking like Courage gin and sodas, and we were like, oh my god, if no one turns up, we're literally gonna cry. Like we're gonna sit here, we're gonna cry. And it was just so angry. We were horrible. Like it just felt horrible. And we had sold out, but I think you just panic, right? You're just like, what about if no one shows up? And we had like a queue going out the door, like people messaging us, like it just was such a relief. And we were like, oh my God, like we can actually do this. Like this is something that we can actually do and build on. And, you know, our whole thing is that we like to kind of bring a lot of girls into the community and stuff like that and give them a bit more of a voice, which we was able to do with those first events.
Yeah, that's so cool. Where was the very first one?
The first one was at Tropicana in the beaches.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Manly. I've got a whole friendship group over there, but I've got no idea what you're talking about.
So do you remember, so it used to be Brooklyn.
No.
Do you remember it was Brooklyn? It was on the beachfront and it was like a cafe at the front and they had this little alleyway that went around the back and it literally was like a whole underground club.
Oh, I know that, but it was Sugar Hut.
Yeah, I think it was that. If the guy basically changed the name about 4 times.
Oh, right.
And then he sold it and then bought Label.
Okay.
I think his name's Kieran.
Oh, Mixed Methods used to play there, do her event there.
Yeah. So that's how I met Penny Mac, Sam I Am, Jordan Love, Smeaton Hughes, Mixed Methods. So we used to do like.
I know Sam and Penny. I met them on a ski trip. The same ski trip I met Tiffany on, who's been on the podcast 2 years ago. Because oh my God, I can't believe I've forgotten his name. English guy. Oh my God,
Like the Musk ones.
Yeah.
Benny.
Benny. God, Jesus, I had a total mind blank there.
The one that was on F-Boy Island.
Yeah. It's funny because I did think to myself, God, he's been really quiet on social media. Like, I just thought, what happened to him as he stopped DJing? And then there he was, like, on the thing. I didn't watch it, but I saw it on social.
Did you not?
Funny. No.
Oh, I loved it.
Was it funny?
It was. He's just funny.
I suppose he's a friend of yours, I suppose, where he's not my friend. So it's like, you know, if one of my friends was on a TV show like that, I'd definitely be watching it.
Friends within the community.
Yeah.
He's like, she's not my fucking friend.
Everyone's friends. But yeah, so Penny and Sam are really sweet as well. They're good friends, so it's pretty cute. They are probably 2 of the people that made me want to go to Defected Croatia, I think, because they were both there. And then I saw all the videos. And so we're going in August, very excited. So you did the events, and then how often are you DJing? Every single weekend?
Yeah, so I try and take breaks just for myself. So
like this weekend just gone?
Yeah, so I literally did 1 set at Wolf Bar just because they're my residency. So I kind of feel, because it is my home there, so I don't really mind it so much, and it's not as like overstimulating as going into a new place with new promoters and new like customers. I had a little bit of a break this weekend, and then I tried to take a break because I've got an event coming up in 2 weeks and it just hasn't happened. So that weekend is got gigs on it as well. Which
the weekend really, of your event?
Yeah.
We've also got gigs?
Yeah, like a few hours before the event starts.
Oh my God, what are you thinking?
So I was just like my friends were like, we'll all go for prees, and in my head I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this, but I think it'll be good because I think, and then we've got like an agreement with the guys on the boat that, you know, that'll be like the after party. Yes. I'm gonna be on a boat for like 4 hours. So
wow. And where's your actual event?
At Selena's.
Coogee Bay?
Yes.
Is that, like, I'm so confused where this Selena's has just appeared from, because I know the room, I've been in there before and watched the UFC, I've also been in there and played 2 Up, and I'm just like, why have they never made it a club before? Like, it looks great.
Because so it never was used for rave, or they don't like to use the term rave, so I shouldn't use that, but they don't like it, we're not allowed to use that word, they don't like it for like music style events. So, because there's like a big stage in there, so they use it for like rock bands.
Oh, okay.
So that was like their whole thing. It's like rock and metal and stuff like that. And it's the event company worked with the boys from Switch and started running those events. And I went to the Halloween one when it was called Bliss.
Okay. Oh my God, that's so funny. Have you ever been to Bournemouth?
No.
Okay, so where I'm from, Bournemouth, that is one of the clubs I used to go into when I was literally like 15, 16, 17, like real R&B music, just really seedy. The first time I ever went into a club, people were fucking smoking in there. That's how long ago it was.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just so funny because that's like, wow. If any of the, like, my friends from home will be listening to it, so they'll be like, Jesus, bliss. But sorry, okay, not Bliss. Yeah, not Bliss in Bournemouth.
Not Bliss in
Road. No, Bliss in Coogee.
Yeah.
So that was the name of the event, or
yeah. So it was called Bliss, and then I think they had a rebrand to Switch. and I went to the Halloween event because I'd heard people talk about it for the one before, and I went there for Halloween, and I was just like, I need this space. I was like, I need this space, and I could just see like all the branding I could do and all like the cool stuff that could be in that space, and like how it would like really benefit the community, because I feel like as much as I, you know, love the IB and I work with the IB, and there's all other events as well, you've got like Roundhouse and you've got all these other big venues, like there's nothing that's that based in the East, yet there is so many young people and expats and hostels in the East. It just didn't really make sense. I just felt like there was a really open opportunity, and not just even from like a business perspective, but just generally from like a community perspective. I just felt like it'd be such a nice addition to have. It's really hidden. Everyone can kind of come in and out, like come from all the other areas. If you've had enough of, you know, had enough of pub, you can come into Selena's and vice versa. But yeah, I just, after I saw what they did, I was like, oh my God, I want this. Like,
So this is your first event coming up there?
so
with them at that venue?
Yes, this is our first event on the 13th of April, and it's quite different to what we'd normally do. So it's going to be UKG, bassline, drum and bass, and jungle. I love jungle, so I need to add that in. I think it's not really come out here yet into Sydney, but it's called Peaches. It's my...
The event is called Peaches?
Yeah.
Why is it not called Lowkey Events?
Because I'm doing it as a collaboration with iRock. So Lowkey Events has had like a few little things. So we had the main event, which was really house and tech house, and then we had the Bumba, which was at a venue in the East, and it was like, if I can remember it, I'll come back to it. It's shut down now, and I feel like everyone used to go there for brunch. I did like bottomless margaritas. It's really gonna annoy me that I can't remember it, but
sounds great.
It was so good, but it got shut down. It was called La Bamba, and it was like disco. So it was meant to...
What does that mean?
I did it as a collaboration with the Glass and Hype boys for Dopamine Events, and I couldn't tell you, there was a reason.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
Oh, the song. The Alabamba. It was literally that, because it was in a Mexican place, and I think we'd all hung out together and we was like, what should we call it? And we were like mucking about.
That's so good.
Because I think you only think about something too much, and then it just gets to the point where you're like, it just doesn't even sound like the word anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can't even remember the question.
and then the addition. So then under Lowkey, there's like other sub brands. So
okay, cool. So this is going to be the first Peaches.
This is the first Peaches.
And how many DJs?
We've got. So I'm jumping in, which was a very, very last minute call. So I'll open so I can enjoy the rest of the night, and then I've got Kill Bill and Gaz the Keys are coming on as a B2B afterwards, and then we've got headlining, we've got Cotto, Don Darkio. I've probably he's maybe one day
he can come play your event, then he can come on my podcast.
He can come and give me his number. But no, I've got like a whole list of friends that have basically made me pretty much sign a contract to say that if I ever met Dom Dollar, that I have to set them up. Like, no questions.
Oh my God, babe, you definitely get first.
They're literally like, I don't care. It's me. Like, I've literally got like 4 people that like got it all lined up. So
hilarious.
I know. And then closing, I've got Sublimited, which is a UK jungle DJ.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I haven't, like, last year at Pitch they had lots of UK garage. It was incredible. DJ EZ. I actually made my reel of Alex Buer, who obviously we're both friends with. I put it's based on the one we were watching his set, basically.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. What time is Selena's open till?
I think like 2:30, 3 a.m.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I just had in my head that the reason they had never done stuff in there is because their license isn't late enough to do it. That's what I assumed.
No, they've actually got, I think because it's like outdoors and stuff like that, and it's quite an old venue, I think their licensing...
Outdoors? Is it in the actual courtyard?
Oh no, because obviously their whole licensing covers the whole venue.
Okay.
But I think I think it's more because they don't want the ag that comes with it, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I think they see other venues doing it and it worries them. So I think it's obviously like, people have to do what's better for the community, right? Like, don't be a dick. Like, that's just like a simple rule. Like, otherwise you just ruin it for everyone else, and it's just so much harder to do these venues because people don't want to take the risk.
And there is risk, like obviously working in that field myself, like licensing risk. The person who holds the license is personally liable, not the company.
Yeah,
that's why they have to obviously get them and stuff. That's hectic. And so, did you just approach them?
Yeah. So it was all a bit of a mixed bag, really. So they'd spoken to the boys at iRock, and they actually, the people that run CBH actually wanted us to put on a festival at CBH. Which
that's interesting. Oh, you can't come and do a night here, but you can do a festival.
Because they were like, and you can take over all the rooms, right? And I was like, I actually really want that room. So this is kind of like a conversation starter. Anyway, we went through back and forth to this festival, and there was some like, they had to get additional licensing or something like that. So it ended up not happening. So hashtag make CBH festival happen. But so then that started off the conversation, and it's actually run by a third company, which we then had to have the discussions with anyway, because if we run the CBH festival, then we would have to get them involved. And yeah, we sat down with them, and kind of just said to them, this is what we want. They're proper open to like having other stuff. They were like, you know, there's so much house out there. There's just, and I love house. I'm like, you know, I go to Ibiza, I'm such a house head. Like, I'm so here for it. But it just got to the point where even I was like, everything, there just needed to be something fresh that even I was excited about, because I felt like I was kind of losing that passion for it because it was just the same thing all the time.
I love UK Garage. So I think I'm going to have to come, because I've never been to an event like that, I don't think. I've seen it at festivals and been, you know, seen certain artists. Have I been to a whole themed UK Garage night in Australia? I don't think so.
No, I'm so excited.
And I've been here a long time, so yeah, we'll have to change that. But it's hard, do you know what I mean? I could go out every weekend and then you're tired and I've got to do all this fucking shit, editing and stuff.
No.
But you can also go, I mean, it's in the suburb next door. I can, if I really want to, go and just go and then come home. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be this huge expedition.
And I think like what we're quite lucky with as well is that because of there's so many expats over here, when we actually look at the people that we know personally that are going, we actually have quite a big age range. So where Fred again has kind of come over, he's introduced this sound and the break beats to this younger audience, but we've all got a lot of older friends that have been craving for UKG to come over here and drum and bass and stuff.
Oh, do you think there's going to be a lot of young people there?
Because of Ivy Thursday and stuff like that, a lot of the audiences and stuff that are approachable within our network are younger.
Oh, interesting.
And in that community, we're kind of like trying to also educate to be like, this is what you've been hearing from Fred again. This is what you love. So, you know, you can kind of stay in that circle and stay in that bubble and come and hang out with us without sounding like, you know, luring children into like a club. You know, this is the vibe, the branding's pretty fresh, what you want, like come here, like, so yeah. And then we've obviously got like a lot of the older crowd and stuff like that, which probably are gonna come in, have a bit of a like dance, listen to the tunes and then leave.
What's the capacity?
So
I assume it's just the back room. So I come into CBH as normal and then I show my ticket at the back room.
Yes, like you show it at the front door.
Okay.
And then they'll lead you through to the Selena's room.
So you enter on Coogee Bay Road?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. What's the one at the beach called? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you'll enter on the one on the hill next to the sports bar.
Yes. Yeah. There's that one.
And what packs?
So it depends if we open upstairs or not. So if we open
upstairs, what do you mean upstairs?
Like, upstairs, it's massive. It's massive.
What?
Yeah.
I thought that was like a hotel.
No, it's like you go in and you've got the stage, and then to your right you've got a staircase, and it's
no
got
fucking
like
way
look over point.
Wow. Just downstairs and then with upstairs. What's the numbers?
I think it's like 1,700, 1,500. With
1,000?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but if it depending on ticket sales, we might just keep. We're hoping to get like 1,000 through the door, so to keep that downstairs.
Fucking hell.
But obviously it's our first event, so we don't want to overshoot. But even with like 300, 400 in there, it's nice. Like, and we're gonna control the space to make sure that it feels like homely in there.
Wow. So how many people are involved in the organising? Just two? So you have to collaborate.
Yeah.
But on the night, how many people are going to be like working in that for that particular thing?
I'm not sure. Maybe like 5.
Okay.
Because but so Selena's has like controls of the bar and stuff, so that's them. And then our staff are pretty much doing all the pre stuff. So the guys that run the venue will do all the lighting.
They've got all the production.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And how much are tickets?
The tickets are sitting around $30, or you can do like a 3 bundle and they're like 24-25 each.
Okay, cool. And will that be, because this will come out the Thursday, so it's Thursday today when this is coming out, and then your event's in 2 days' time.
Yes.
So they'll probably, so will that bundle still be on?
Yeah. It should be. Hopefully,
cool.
It's sold out.
Wow, that's good. I reckon I'm okay. No, I'm so invested now. Definitely want to come. And then what else have you got on the horizon?
Just kind of seeing really. I'm gonna go to Ibiza in the summer.
When are you gonna go?
I'm gonna go like June the 20th for like a week.
All the way to Ibiza for a week?
Oh no, so I'll go Barcelona for a few days, and then Ibiza, and then back to London, and then to Amsterdam, and I'm thinking about stopping off in Paris on the way back.
That sounds like a lovely trip.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Still kind of in a debate whether I pick up gigs while I'm there.
Have you ever played overseas?
No, because I keep like, I should probably push it more, but I think I always get to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm on holiday, and I think like, you know, like working a 9 to 5 and having all the jobs on the side, when it's your holiday, you're like, it's my holiday. And I think I still have like a lot of freelance work and stuff like that anyway while I'm away. So
you play one. It'd be pretty cool.
I know. I'm like, I've spoke to a couple of my friends that run events in London, so they're just, it's quite far ahead for them right now, because they're
local stuff would be more on the fly.
Yeah.
And circling back to what you said earlier about sometimes it's quite draining working with new venues and new promoters and stuff, like how do you get your gigs? Do you approach people, or do people approach you?
I'm in a really lucky position at the minute where I get approached. I'm super lucky. I'd say like social media is such a big factor in everything, and I'm lucky enough that because I do have a 9 to 5 in marketing, that I can kind of like put a lot of the skills into it. It is so time consuming, but it's so worth it. So I think like when I have actually like approached clubs, I've not got anything, which is mental, because I've got really amazing opportunities just by not even talking to anyone. So I kind of got to the point where I was like, well, the clubs that are approaching weren't kind of responding, so I just kind of left it, and I just kept having all these other things happen. So
yeah, right. And then what have you got other than Selena's coming up? Any other gigs you can talk about that you've got coming up?
I don't know if I can talk about them.
No, that's okay.
That's trouble.
No, that's all good. That's all good. And any, like, would you, obviously you've got a holiday plan, so you're a bit like, oh, maybe I will, maybe I won't, but would you, like, are you aspiring to play overseas?
Yeah.
But like for the purpose of going to play, not going on holiday and then playing?
Yeah, I think if I'm in a work mode, it doesn't matter so much, because I feel like, especially because when I go back, it's to see like friends and family, because people meet me in different countries. So I almost feel like a bad friend to be like, I know you've come to Barcelona to spend 3 days with me, but I'm actually going to play a gig and you need to tag along.
Wouldn't they love that?
They do. I just always feel super guilty when you have like people come and they kind of have to like, you're separated from them. Like, it's nice when you have the gigs and they can be backstage with you, but that's not always an option.
Oh yeah, they have to be backstage with you.
Yeah, otherwise they just stand there staring at you, right?
There you go. That can be your rider. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
My friends have to come backstage with me. How many is there? 25. Yeah, that's so much fun. And then any things in Australia that are on your bucket list, or even beyond?
I think I'm just really excited to see how Peaches goes. Like, I feel like there's so much opportunity for it here. Like, I am like in like wondering if we've hit it too early, but I'm kind of just riding the wave, because just to be like, do you know what? Like, if it's a learning experience either way, but the plan is that, you know, we want to bring people over from the UK. That is the plan. So that's in discussions at the moment, and we've got promoters in all other states that we've connected with that want to do this with us as well. So
a lot of potential.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Like, we've got a list of people. If anyone else has any recommendations, 100%, like, send you a message, send me a message. Like, we want to hear what other people want, and we want to get a list of people together that we
But
can
in UK garage?
UK garage, drum and bass, bassline, jungle, any of those 4 genres. Like,
you know Parker?
Yeah.
He's very good. I'm sure you guys probably collaborate at some point. He's awesome. I love his style of music. It's fucking very cool. Do you do any production?
Bingo is trying to teach me, but his production course is amazing. I just didn't have the time. So I'm actually going back to his classes in May.
Who is he?
He's a DJ, Bingo.
Okay.
Benny, if other people know him personally, but he is teaching me. I just had to put a pause in it especially with Peaches launching. I just wanted to put all my attention into that.
Yeah, it's my boyfriend is trying to get into the production side of it at the moment as well, but it's like, I can't remember, Nate, who came on before, he was saying, like, you need, like, this much dollar laptop because it needs to be able to have, like, I've just got a little MacBook Air, you should hear it, it's like, like, overheating and shit, so you obviously need the right equipment, which is investment, and, like, it's just one thing at a time, just master one thing and then move on. There's no need to rush through it, I suppose. Have you ever played at a festival?
No, to be fair, that is on the list at some point. I did have a look at a few things over here. I feel like the festivals are really struggling over here though. Like, they just I don't know if it's because there's new ones coming up, or I'm not really sure. But obviously it was Splendour in the Grass cancelling, which was a massively iconic festival in Australia. I'm just quite interested to see how the landscape goes for that. I think it's sad. Like, I think that culture does need to come back. Like, working with working in marketing and in all the events side of things, there is a lot of studies that kind of show that Gen Z just don't want to party like that anymore, and there's just less of them, right? They just don't. I remember you'd go out for like 4 days in a row, and that was standard. Like, you were just a normal person if you did that. Like, the people that went for like a whole week, you were like, wow. But, like, people just don't do that anymore. Like, that's just not part of the culture over here. It's, especially in, like, young Aussies, they just
can't handle it.
Yeah, like, or they just... It's something, like, I was reading something about it, and it basically said that because they had their peak years in COVID, they kind of don't know what they were missing, and they just didn't experience it, and now they've kind of come out of that hype stage and they just don't want it. So whether now COVID's gone, that new generation come in and build it back up again, but there's definitely like a gap. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. I can't even remember what I was going to say. One of my friends was saying about the festivals being cancelled, so that's like, there's been a few, Splendour in the Grass, Groove in the Moo. They were saying that people don't want to do camping festivals anymore, and I'm like, sorry, hang on a minute. I would much rather go to a camping festival any day of the week than to any event. I love going to camping festivals, and you can do like glamping or RVs, and I've had so fucking much fun. I think camping festivals in Australia are the best I've ever been to. Have you been to any?
Yeah, so I did, so the Musk Boys, the ski stuff, they did a New Year's Eve one, and it was like proper in the bush and stuff like that. And then I've also done like Pitch and Strawberry Fields.
What year did you go to Pitch?
Oh, it was not last year, the year before.
Okay, so I went last year and this year. Yeah, and Strawberry Fields, when did you go there?
November.
I was there too.
Yeah. No, we were meant to go Pitch. Me and my sister was meant to go Pitch last year, and the day before we got an email from our camper van, and the guy that had used it before us had smashed it up.
Fuck off.
And they were like, we've got no cars left because of Pitch.
Fuck off.
We couldn't get nothing. We couldn't get anything. Like, all the camping stuff was gone, everything was gone, and we were just like, that's it, we just got to not go.
Oh my god, what did you sell the tickets okay?
Yeah, we sold the tickets fine. Like, well, I had a car pass as well, so obviously everyone just wants the car pass. So it was fine, but then that's why we went Strawberry Fields, because I promised my sister I was going to take her. And then... Fucking
hell, so last year you were supposed to be at Pitch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And obviously EZ was there. I was so frustrated.
That's devastating.
It was... But it also meant that we then were like, okay, we're 100% going to Strawberry Fields.
So. Yeah, so Pitch, now they have Tixel and everything. Like, my friend's got a glamping tent on Pitch like the day before, but obviously I don't think it was such a big thing like a year and a bit ago.
Yeah.
And Strawberry Fields, how amazing was it though?
It was so good. It was so good. I think...
Did you camp?
Yes, but anyone that knows me knows I'm not a camper. I'm a massive princess. RV or I don't go.
So you got an RV.
So yeah, we get an RV and
long drive
or glamping. We got a glamping package for Strawberry Fields with like the raised beds and everything.
Oh my god, do you know what? I would love. Can you imagine if you're in the same run as me? On the Thames. That's what we were.
Did you get glamping as
Yeah,
well?
of course, babe. I'm with you. I'm too old for that shit.
Like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it's extra money, but you're paying that much anyway. But I would we'll have to see after we finish where we were.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you're like 2 doors down or something?
Oh, in the grass that stabbed your feet as you stepped out.
We were quite near the showers and the toilets and the chill
out.
area.
We were by the water.
By the water. Down the hill. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. And then what else? Oh, we did Lost. I've done Lost.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's good. Yeah, they're incredible. So see what I mean? Like the thought of not got I've never seen anything like it. There's a festival called Lost Village in England that I really want to go to.
Oh yeah.
It seems to me those people must have been to Strawberry Fields because it seems like very similar. I'd be surprised if they didn't, because it's only a relatively new thing, I think, for like 4 or 5 years, but that looks incredible. And have you got any festivals booked?
No, I've been a bit rubbish with it, really. Like,
I suppose you've got enough going on.
Yeah, I know. Everyone keeps trying to book in things, and I'm like, do you know what? I just need to do the next couple months. And I think because in Ibiza, like Glitterbox is like my favourite thing, so I just love all that kind of like really disco soulful free stuff. So I'm going to do a lot of that when I'm in Ibiza and just kind of see where I land. My little sister, who I'm going to Europe with as well.
You sound so close.
Yeah, she's my little party friend.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
And she's
19.
Oh,
baby. Yeah, that's why I'm going to take her to her first pitch. I took her to her first festival. That's when we went Lost. And then pitch is just hands down my favourite out of all of them. Like I just absolutely love it. So I was like, I need to take you. And then when we couldn't, I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to take you to Strawberry Fields. So
did you go to Mirage Motel?
Yes. So good. We just lied there for hours.
Yeah, and then literally we hadn't seen one of my friends, Harrison, for about 3 hours. Then he just walked in out of nowhere, and I was like, because obviously everyone's lying down, so you can see him walk in. And I've said this before, so sorry, but when we went to leave, his shoes were gone, but the same exact shoes were there in a size too big.
Oh, fuming.
But then it was obviously way worse for the other person, and they had a silent exchange the next day.
Oh, that's good.
So funny.
So
funny. Yeah, but it was just like, we'll never know who it was. I was trying to find them, but I don't think I've got enough listeners to find them yet. But but yeah, sorry. So you went there and nothing else booked in?
No. So and then my sister comes Ibiza. So when we go Ibiza, my friends come and she comes with me.
She's been to Ibiza before?
Yeah, I took her last year.
So you're 19, your sister has been to Ibiza, who also lives in Australia, and I haven't. Right, I need to sort this shit out.
It's honestly, and she gets to come backstage with me. She gets to meet all these amazing. I said to her, my mum tried to say it to her, and I think she just doesn't get it. My mum was like, you have had such an unreal life. She's partied in Ibiza, she's gone to all these festivals already, she's done all this amazing stuff, and she's just like, yeah.
Does she have an Aussie accent though?
It goes in and out. It's nowhere near as strong as mine.
Yeah.
Mine I feel like it's weakened, but a lot of people disagree.
Yeah. Well, I knew straight away. That's why I messaged you, because I don't know how one of your videos came up on Instagram, and I was like, oh my god, she's English. UK Garage. I was like, that's so fucking cool. So thank you again, by the way, for coming over, because it's really nice to chat to another English girl, especially on the other side of it, because it's a big community but a small community at the same time.
Yeah.
And there's so many expats here. There is obviously a lot of different nationality DJs, but it's cool to find another English one.
I feel like I've got a little bit English bubble, to be honest.
Do you?
Yeah, because the IROC boys are both English.
Is it just 2 of them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ian and Matt. Yeah, so they've been running IROC for I think it's something 15 years or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool.
But yeah, they started off working with hostels and telling hostels where the best parties and stuff, where to go.
So then what are your what's your ultimate goal with the whole thing? Would you like your 9 to 5, or would you like to not be working a 9 to 5?
I do you know what, I go between this, I change my mind every week. Some days I leave the office and I'm like, I hate my life, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just gonna do DJing, I can survive on DJing and events.
Do you?
Do you know what, I'm a princess, so I just don't want to. and I like, especially because it's summer, right? But as soon as winter hits, everything's so unpredictable over here. People don't want to leave the house. Like, it's very different. If beaches, if beaches makes a difference, then maybe. But
what would your like? What's your goal for it? Would you love it to be weekly, monthly? Best case scenario.
I like it monthly. I think because I feel like weeklies should be run a bit differently to how we're running Peaches.
Mm-hmm.
I think weeklies need to almost have like a bit more like access than I think the venue probably holds, like in the sense of it's quite hidden, it's like in that kind of bit, but it's quite cool and it's a bit more iconic, so it's more about that experience at one time and kind of enjoying it and then looking forward to it, when rather than being like a event like we have with Ivy Thursdays that people just kind of come in and out and they know it's there every week and they come because there's big groups of them. We want it to be more about like the music and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool. It's exciting. Yeah. Cool. Anything else on your story that you want to touch on? Any highlights, lowlights? What's been like the biggest struggle for you throughout the whole thing?
I think, and people can agree or disagree, but I do think that probably it being such a male dominated industry, so I feel like when you first start and you're a girl, it is, I felt like it was a lot harder than guys I knew that were doing it, and to get on a lineup is a lot harder, and sometimes you're almost put on a lineup purely because you are a girl rather than like your actual mixes or stuff like that, which I can't complain about because it's got me where I am today. So it does have its pros and cons to it, but we definitely have built like a really nice little female community. We've got like a little group on Instagram. There's quite a lot of us now. There's probably about 30 of us on that group.
Wow.
Yeah.
In Sydney.
Yeah, so I kind of started it off because there was me and about 10 other girls, and I said, right, we're going to start this chat. Like, if there's gigs that need swapping, let's swap them with each other. So we still know that there's other females that are going to be on lineups and we can connect with each other and we can still allow each other to push forward even if we can't do that gig. And then other people obviously met other girls and they were like dropped them into the chat, and yeah, now there's loads of us. There's like, it's like a nice little thing. We swap stuff. If there's like house parties and stuff like that, everyone drops them in. We have tried to do a meet up, but it's really hard to meet up with other DJs because you work all weekend and then everyone obviously has 9 to 5s as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's coming on the horizon. But yeah, I think I started House of Lowkey because I wanted it to be for women and I wanted to kind of help other girls realise that, even though it's super male dominated, you can do it. And it's kind of like who you know and stuff like that. So just knowing all them other
networking and stuff like that. I fucking love it. Girl power. It's way. Nice. It's nice for you to take the initiative to actually make it happen as well. Like, so many people just sit back and spot the problems and talk about the problems, but I'm like, yeah, but you can, do something.
Yeah. I feel like so the Peaches, I'm obviously on the Peaches lineup, but I do want the next ones to have more girls involved. So I have actually, just by doing Peaches, I have met more girls in that space because all the girls I know do house and tech house and tech.
Well, unless they're English, they're probably not going to be as familiar with it, right? I mean, obviously there is garage over here, but to be invested in it, and there's one thing to like it, but it's another thing to like it enough that you've got a whole library to play.
Yeah, 100%. So I think just by having Peaches run, quite a lot of other people have been messaging. So I've got a few girls now that I definitely want to put on the other ones, and any other like girls and guys, but I definitely want the lineups to be more equal, just to kind of give people that platform. I think it's very important.
Have you ever had any, and sorry, like, just tell me to shut up and I'll cut this out if it's like triggering to anyone, but have you ever been like poorly treated as a girl in the industry?
Yeah, I think a lot of girls would probably agree that you've been in certain situations that aren't like the most comfortable, but there's like 2 types. There's the types of people in clubs that generally don't do it in a horrible way. It's just a very male dominated environment. They probably say things that they don't mean, like they just kind of speak their mind or whatever, that it's just not intentional. And then there's other ones that it is very intentional. I think if you can pick out them, and it's just about education, right? Like, I think working on the night scene and just allowing, like, even having like my two promoter girls, there's certain situations that I know that they probably need a lot more protecting in than Jared does. And just like kind of teaching them to be like safer in certain environments and stuff, and just knowing that they can always like come to me if anything happens. I think they've had a couple of instances whilst working, being in clubs and stuff like that, they've just asked for help on, and I'm just
happy making sure you have like support with you.
Yeah, or they've had like comments made at them and stuff like that, so just kind of like allowing them to feel like safe in them environments because they're there 24/7, and just to understand that, you know, it's not everyone's they're one-off situations.
You also can't like take every single comment to heart and let it bother you, and you have to learn to like leave stuff at the door, and that's just not in this world. In every world, like you can't 100%. As much as possible try not to take your job home with you because it's not good for your mental health at all. You need that downtime, like you in your holidays. So you're going to Ibiza, so you got your event next weekend, which will be 3 days time when we release this. You've got your holiday coming up in June. Anything happening in like May time?
I think just a lot of gigs. If we've got Peaches hopefully running on the 11th of May. Well, again.
So everyone come next Saturday and make it a sellout. We'll go in this mystery upstairs room. I was like, what the hell? I was like, no, I definitely want to come. And yeah, it's very exciting. Anything else you want to touch on, end on? Any advice for young female DJs who want to get into the industry?
I would just say, like, content is so key. Like, and I know that everyone says that, and I know it's super annoying. And do you know what, anyone? Like, I'm super happy to, like, help and give advice because I know that I'm literally in that industry and I have to be on it 24/7. Like, I'm super open to, like, educating and helping and, like, really, I think it does take a lot of time, but once you kind of get the hook on it, it makes such a difference in your career, and it allows people to see you and to expand your platform, which is ultimately what you have to do to get bigger and to get the bigger gigs, right? So, like, in no means am I a big DJ at all. Like, I don't feel like that at all. Like, there's still so many people.
But you're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, like, I think it's just, like, a growing stage. Like, I don't, like, I've been, like, worked hard, but also been really lucky. So, I think if the hard work's there, then the luck comes along with it.
Yeah, nice. Well, that is a lovely is it sentiment? I don't know what the word to end on. But yeah, thank you so much for coming over, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what the rest of the year has for you. What's this?
It's some of our merch.
Oh, I love it. I don't know if I can. Oh my god, my nails need doing. My best friend will kill me. So cute. Thank you.
It's like the little friendship bracelets. So we're gonna make them, and then the girls are going to go around Coogee and give some out to people.
Oh my god, how many are you going to make?
I don't know. I might get, this is like, the girls are like, we're going to come round, we're going to drink wine, we're going to make friendship bracelets.
How many?
I think we're aiming for like 40.
Oh, thank you. This is like, what's the word? Limited edition merch. I love it. Do not break it. I've had a couple of people in America, they do this thing, I don't know if they do it here at festivals, you like swap them with people at festivals.
I've seen, like, the EDM thing.
Yeah, this is super cool. I had a couple from Miami, and I can't remember the ins and outs of it, but someone came onto my boyfriend and it says something, but he thought it was the name of his town where he was from, and he was like, oh my god, how did you know? And it was just, it doesn't say that at all. It's so funny. But yeah, oh my god, thanks again, babe. It was great to talk to you, and I look forward to seeing you again.